Hello everyone! In this video I will analyze a game which I played on the round 9 of the Grandmaster tournament, the final round. I played against International Grandmaster Vojtech Plat from the Czech Republic. I played with the white pieces. We flipped the board and this was a critical moment, but we will be there later. So d4, d6, knight f3, f5. He played the Dutch defense. Actually, he played a kind of similar variation, which we played last month against Gabor Nagy when I won against that Grandmaster. And again, in this game, I think I get a superior position. Knight c6, rook b1. Yeah, he cannot really capture the pawn on d4 because then I will exchange and win back, and then the e4 pawn will be very weak. So this is a kind of like very strong position for white. So queen a5 he played, and here was the first crossroad. Actually, I don't know if I thought about d5, but this was another very strong move. I captured on c5 because after the exchanges. Yeah, queen c1 is just to be ready to give a check on the long diagonal when if necessary. And white can play for playing just e4. And the e7 pawn will be their target. This would give us a very nice position. Instead I captured on c5, captured back with the queen, bishop takes g7. I could play again like queen c1 maybe with the idea of capture, and then I can give a check if I want to. If a5 takes, changes. Yeah, the e3 pawn would be probably a weakness in the long run here. Not a strength, but a weakness. So somehow, white is better developed. Yeah, black has some control over the dark squares, like the d4, b4. So the c5 queen is kind of active. That's the plus for black. Capture, queen c2. I just played very solid, very good chess, I think, until here. Rook fd1, rook f6. There is this nice target on d6. My pieces are developed. And probably here I need to play more aggressive, like queen b2 with the idea of a3, b4. And also rook d5 is actually a big threat. Yeah, I cannot defend the d6 pawn. e4 again, just rook d5, capturing on d6. The f6 rook is hanging. White is just very good. Yeah, knight d4, this is a nice move. Cannot really capture it, because then we capture back. And d5 wins back the piece, plus, it's the black weaknesses will be even easier to attack. d6 pawn. So bishop f6, then knight b5. The interesting stuff, if we play a few moves for both sides, the d6 is always weak, the d5 square, and the d6 pawn is always a target there. This is like a nice advantage for white. The knight e1 is a little bit too passive, e4. Probably still this was still good. If I play like queen b2, yeah, if it's plays that. So just reposition knight, which I missed. Like if you put the knight to d3, I can just. I was thinking for a moment, but I was not sure this is that good. But yeah, later a little analyzed, and looks like this gives an advantage for white. Even black has a rook, but white has a knight and a pawn. But because of the weaknesses. d5 weak square, d6 weak pawn, the better king position, so all of this together gives an advantage for white. So I should play this one. Don't fear about the knight on d3, but sacrifice the exchange. Play f4 to exchange the pawn, and now the position became kind of equal, because the e3 is both weak and the d6. And here I started to play a bad plan. I wanted to exchange the e3 pawn for the d6, which looks pretty nice if I would have a strong knight on d6 attacking the f5 pawn, b7 pawn. But that's just a general idea. In the concrete sense, it's not working. The better would be to play rook e1 to protect the pawn, develop the other knight, and then later think about knight b5. Probably plays b6 and probably he will keep the balance. But knight b5, he's captured with the rook, and here, yeah, I don't know, I just did not really calculate. I was thinking, okay, nice takes d6, and this is a really nice move. I forgot about to look all the possible captures, because yeah, that looks just okay. Why would be this good? Probably instead I need to play something like queen b2 if I would realize that's a problem, and only capture later. And here black can get the 2 pieces for the rook and pawn, and probably that's better for black. Still better, but it's not winning like in the game, because here you can just capture. If I capture back, then comes another nice move, removing the defender of my queen. Q1 check. Yeah, bishop f1 is not helping, because he just captures. Check. Yeah, this is just good enough extra piece. Okay, instead I captured the rook. I got now a rook and 2 rooks against the knight and the queen, but yeah, that's just too strong. I wanted to play it super aggressive, and I moved into this one also, so my my d6 rook has no square, so here I resigned. So a very good start of the game, good position, but somehow I missed this idea of keeping the knight to go to d3 and sacrificing the exchange, and still this is a very good position. Plus earlier, this was actually the thing. Here I could play also this one, because now he has no time to play actually e4, because rook d5, rook d6 is a big threat, so I should play more active. Okay, yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you learned a few new ideas. Yeah, try to put into practice in your own games. See you soon.